Well, hello there. I am coming at you today because I want to talk to you about the seedlings that I have that are 10 days old. And I'm also going to talk to you about the Seed Plant Bloom box. So let's talk about the seedlings first. I planted these last Sunday, so they're about 10-11 days old. And I get a lot of questions about seeds. I have two different trays here. I'll pull this over a little bit. So, and each tray has 6 plugs per one I did. This tray here, this first one, let me move these out of the way, was all of my warm season vegetables. And as you can see, not all of them have completely germinated. Now the one that is done phenomenally well is my dragon's tongue, which is a type of green bean. It's a bean that's purple or green with some purple flecks. So it has a second set of true leaves coming on. This first set of leaves, these are called the cotyledons, and this is what all of these other seedlings have. That's the first set that they use when they pop up to get all of the photosynthesis that they need for development. But you'd never want to really touch your seedlings until they get at least the first or second set, and this one is getting its second set. I showed a picture yesterday, and this guy was barely at the top of the T. The day before, he was at the bottom of the E in the name, so now he's getting nice and big. So these are all the other ones. I have tomatoes in here, and then the beans, and you can see how they're all, this side are leaning over. Can you see that? It's because the sun is right here, the window, and they're stretching to get to the light. I turn this table 4 times a day. In Alaska right now, we have 20 hours of sunlight. So they are getting a full spectrum of sun. You'll notice a couple things on this tray, if you look closely, is that it looks dried out and there's some weird brown stuff on there. So the reason it is dried out is that I had a little bit of damping off happening. And what damping off is when it's a fungal disease that happens with seedlings. So the only way to kind of get rid of it is 2 things. You want to kind of, you need to aerate your seedlings. So I have a fan that is actually on them, and then the window is open, allowing that to come in. Then you also want to dry it out, and then you can sprinkle cinnamon. So this lighter brown that you're seeing in here is cinnamon. And I just sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon on it, and the damping off is over. So today, I have not watered these in 10 days, so I'm going to do that today. But I kind of wanted to show you what some of the roots look like, and it actually is a little bit better on the other tray, but they do start to come out. Can you see the roots on that one, on the green beans? Maybe not. I'll do it on the other one. So let me show you the other tray. Now this tray of seedlings is all spinach and lettuce and all of that. Now, the fun part about this one is the ones on the edge here has had my dog Porter kind of smelling them and seeing what's going on, and he's like really curious as to what's growing here. So they have kind of taken a little tumble. They're also all going towards the light. Again, I move it 4 times a day, but this side hasn't really gone very much, or they're all leaning over. Some of these I did lose them to that damping off. Again, I've sprinkled the cinnamon everywhere, and I've also let this dry out, so it'll get watered today. I have one, and count them, only one plant that has set on its first set of leaves, and I want to say, yeah, it's the baby bok choy. It's this little one right here has a second set of leaves on there, whereas all the other ones still just have their cotyledons. So this will hopefully, in the next week or so, they will start to do a little bit better. But I think I had a bunch of roots. I did. This is what I wanted to show you. So this is 10 days, and look at the roots on all of them coming out the bottom. They are searching for that water, and that's what you want. You want nice, strong, white roots. White roots means that the plant is healthy and that it's still being able to uptake water. Anytime you get like those brown, dirty roots like you see when you're getting a plant from the nursery and it's all bound up, you usually want to cut those off because the plant can't bring any more nutrients in from those roots. So These guys are doing great. I'll water them all right now once I get off air. They'll sit here by the window. I open it up just a couple more inches so that they're getting that breeze, and it helps them to harden off. And I'll do a whole other thing about that, but what hardening off is you can't put these directly into the garden if they've been in the shelter being inside all the time. That's kind of like kicking your kid out without teaching them how to cook. You just can't do it. So what I will do is they'll go outside for they start at 4 to 5 hours a day, and then I add 1 hour every day until after about a week or so, then they can stay out all day long. Now, this set of the spinach and lettuce are gonna grow right here at my condo on my balcony. I want to show people how to grow an amazing garden in very little space with very little sun. So that's what this is gonna be. In my community garden space, it's 10 by 20, it's in full sun, it's amazing. And I'll be going out there tomorrow and I'll be seeding and I'll show you guys how that works. Now the dragon's tongue green bean, I haven't decided if that's gonna go with me. Now being in Alaska growing tomatoes is not like being in Arizona and growing tomatoes. It is hard, really, really hard. Most people here grow all their tomatoes in a greenhouse. So these guys I don't think are gonna get big enough for me to be able to put out in my garden this year. We'll see. They might end up being houseplants. I know, weird, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Now the winter squash, which are the ones that we're leaning towards the light, those will all go out into my garden because they need lots of room. One thing that a lot of people don't get is winter squash does not get planted in the winter. It just stays on the vine longer and it can last in your storage through winter. So like your butternut squash, you can harvest that in October and it'll still be good in March or April. That's what a winter squash means, is that it can overwinter really well. Okay, so what did I do with the box? So I wanted to show you, I know I was pretty proud. I sent out the first boxes last week and everybody has loved them. Because you know, when you put your heart and soul into something, it's really nerve-wracking because you don't know how people are going to receive it. Now the first box had a ton of extras in it, little like a wall sayings that I found and other stuff that are going to be in there. But I wanted to show you what you're typically going to find in one of my boxes. And I haven't decided yet if each month the box design will be different. I'm toying around with that idea. I like that. I love this box. It's a really, really expensive box. Not what's inside it, the box itself. So I don't know if that's sustainable long term. We'll see. Okay, so and this is not the box that they received. This is what a typical one is going to have in it. So what I thought was one of the funnest things is that most people loved the garden gloves that I sent in there. This was one of those that I picked up. I saw them. They are my favorite. I usually go through about 2 or 3 pairs a summer, not because they deteriorate, but because I can't find them. I have a thing with like forgetting things different places or losing them or all of that. So I usually will pick up a couple different pairs, and these ones came in 3 different colors and I just interchange them. It really doesn't matter in the garden which ones I'm wearing. What's nice about these is that you can wash them in the sink and hang them to dry, and then they're ready to go the next time you're there. So in every box is a soil amendment or fertilizer. So for the first box, I chose earthworm castings, and the reason is I freaking love earthworm castings. That's it. This is 2 cups worth, and this can last most gardeners for all of their plantings because you're using just a small amount. Earthworm castings is probably the best fertilizer that you can get, but it usually takes 10 to 12 years to age the castings correctly. So I don't got that kind of time. I used to have some earthworm bins, and I have tons of earthworms in my outside garden, but I kind of don't want worms in my condo. Just to be honest, I don't. So what I'll do is I put in 1 tablespoon for every small container I do, 2 tablespoons for a large, and then for like my entire garden bed, which is a 10 by 20, I probably would put in 4 cups, so I'd put in 2 of these. But for like a typical 4 by 4 raised garden, you could do just 1 of these. I'll have on my site where you can buy more, or you can also go on Amazon, earthworm castings. There are a couple companies that are better than others, and I will list those because they are not, worm castings are all not created equal. What I'm trying to do for the June box is bat guano. It's all about the poop. I'm telling you, I never thought I'd say those words, but earthworm castings is earthworm poop, and bat guano is bat poop, and it's amazing for your plants. It's really the circle of life. Okay, and then in every box that people received, depending on what size box they ordered, they got between 5 and 10 seed packets. Now, I made these seed packets by myself. I put a picture of what the plant was, the name of it, and then so this one is plum purple radish. So it's a different variety. You're not going to see it everywhere, and it tells them what to do. Plant it 1/4 inch deep, 1 inch apart, and in 30 days you're going to have radishes. I plant, and it says it on here, every 4 weeks I'll put new seeds down so that I continually have radishes coming up for the summer. And this one is sweet and mild, and it's never pilthy, because some of those radishes get really strong tasting, and this variety doesn't. This is actually really good for pickling, so if you like to pickle radishes or pickle vegetables, it's really awesome. And then another one that I had in there was a dragon carrot. Now, a dragon carrot is a red outside and an orange inside, so I thought that that was pretty neat. Every seed packet has 50 seeds. I know it doesn't look like 50 seeds, but dude, I counted all of them. It took me days to do all the seed packets. And again, this one says direct seed 1/4 inch apart, 1/4 inch deep. Germination is slow and uneven. Be patient, because you know a lot of us want it to happen right away, and it takes 90 days to get your carrots. This one is very sweet, a tiny bit spicy. So I always say get your the stuff that's growing into the ground, into the garden first. So your carrots, your onions, your potatoes, your turnips, your beets. So all of that for me, my seeds is a little bit different. Those will all go into the garden this weekend. So again, everybody received 5 to 10 of these. This was what I put my heart and soul into. Each set was different per person, per their gardening zone and their gardening experience. So I didn't want to send seeds that were so difficult to grow that a beginner would get really frustrated. And then the gardening pros that I had, I sent them different varieties that you've never seen before. Like there's a strawberry spinach. So as that spinach is creating those delicious leaves, it's creating this flower that looks like a strawberry, and it doesn't taste like strawberries, but it's also edible. So they got that. And then in every box also got seeds that came in a tin, and there was 2 different kinds. There was hummingbird and butterfly, and each month there will be a different one. I love Potting Shed. They're one of my favorite people to work with, and they have a whole bunch of different styles. So that's kind of what you'll see in every box. You'll have a soil amendment, you'll have the different seeds, and then there'll be some sort of a gift. So in this one, the gift was the gardening gloves. I'm not sure, I haven't not finalized it for the rest of the year. You won't always get extra seeds. You probably will. I already know what I'm gonna do for June. I was given an Amazon gift card, and so I bought a vacuum because girl knows I need one, and I got it for like 25 bucks on Amazon. But I bought colored paper and some more, and then I bought some organic wildflower seeds from my other supplier, and I'm going to make my own seed bombs. So what a seed bomb is you can make them out of clay, but I found this really cool YouTube video on how to make them at home. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to do it. But each color is going to be a different set of seeds. So like one I was thinking about doing little pink ones with strawberry seeds in them. So then you just toss them, and then where it goes, the strawberry plants will go. And those that grow strawberries know that those guys have runners, and then they will just cover an entire patch, kind of like how grass does, or mint. So then I was thinking that too, is having a mint ball. So I'm just playing around with the idea. And then I want to try basil balls, because basil is not the easiest plant to grow from seed. I always recommend people just to go and buy a 4-inch container of basil and be done with it. But I'm wondering if the seed bomb might work better. So I'm going to experiment with that. I want the boxes to be special and unique, and I don't want to purchase every single piece that goes into it. I want to make some of it because I have a lot of ideas for this box, and that's just one of them. Is I want it to be very hands-on and very curated for people. Now, I don't know how to scale that, so when I get 1,000 subscribers, I have no idea how to do that. But right now, for the lovely women that I have, it works perfectly. And speaking of women, did you know most gardeners are men? It's kind of crazy, but it's true. And you can even see it when you go out into community gardens, or if you go out in vegetable gardens, most of them are men, but it's the women that are talking about it because we're natural talkers. So I will have a special box for Father's Day. I'm working on what's going to come in there, and it's going to look very different. That box will be a tiny bit more masculine. It won't be this box. So there you go. We've talked about the seeds in the trays, and I see Joni just jumped on, and Davina is here. Hey. So Joni, if you watch the replay at the beginning, I was talking about when do you put these into the ground, and the key is always when the plant has its second set of true leaves, then you can transplant them. I only have 2 seedlings out of all of these that have their first set of true leaves. I expect to get the second set, I would say, overnight. So again, I'm getting 20 hours of sunlight right here in this spot, so it's working perfectly. And I can't see if anybody's asked any questions, but if you have any questions, please holler. I'm going to start doing this, and it's going to be called Bloom Chat, just like the group. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, look for Bloom Chat, and then that's where we're sharing questions and everything. If you answer, I do have, for those that got the first box, there's a set of questions I'm asking about the box in the group, and if you answer them, you're going to get a little gift from me to you in the June box. And let's say you want to try this. I'm going to put a coupon code on, it's seedplantbloom.cratejoy.com, and we're going to do seed 5, and that'll give you 5% off your next subscription or your box. So with these, you can do month to month, you can do a one-time purchase, or you can subscribe for longer than that. Okay, your choice. So hopefully you learned something today, and I'm so excited for this next box. Oh, Davina has a question. What is the best to grow in Arizona for people that kill things? Oh, you're my favorite kind of person. So Davina, in Arizona, your growing season is the complete opposite of the rest of the U.S. And so right now you're coming into May, so you can grow tomatoes, zucchini, squash, cucumbers in flowers that are also edible, nasturtiums, roses, and I have a whole list of all of these, onion chives, and you can also do a ton of herbs. Thyme loves the heat. Basil loves the heat. Rosemary loves the heat. Cilantro? No, girl. You're not planting that until the winter. But in your boxes, so in all of the Southwestern boxes, they had very different seeds. I am not sending you lettuce. I am going to probably do with the theme for June is going to be a salad box. But Arizona, you cannot grow lettuce in May and June. It's just not going to happen. So for you, you're kind of more dormant in June, July, and August. So your next real season, so again, plant today. If you have some seeds, Davina, get out there and get some planting done this weekend, because those plants will go through the summer. And then your next season is going to start in September. And you're going to plant September, October, and then those plants will finish up by December, and then you'll start planting again at the end of January. Arizona has 2 seasons. So it's September to December, and then January through May. Okay? But you can get a few plants to grow throughout the summer. They do take a lot more water and a tiny bit more care, but I'm happy to teach you how not to kill them. Oh, Megan, thank you so much. I love it. I decided I'm going to do this Bloom Chat once a week, and I think I might actually do it twice this week. I didn't want to go on earlier in the week, and you guys will appreciate this. My roots were so freaking gray. I didn't want to be online, so I used a home box Madison Reed, which I love, so I had to do my hair today, and I'm like, I'm going to pop on live. So, yeah. Girl, I've got you. And let me know if you want a box. I think you would be great for it. So, you know, in the beginning, I had thought that I could do a box for every gardener, but that's not me. My two passions are urban gardening and gardening for newbies. So what that means is if you have a garden that's in containers or raised beds or a community garden, a patch that's really 10 by 20 or a backyard front yard that has flower beds. I am not a landscaper. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be able to point out what you should have in each space. That's a different box. I think Plow Box does really good with that one. Me, I garden in small spaces. Now there are a few gardeners that we have that have 20, 30 years of experience, and what I want to bring to them is showing them new varieties that they could grow and have fun with it. So that's kind of like I'm just tweaking the niche just a little bit to really serve both of those. So instead of serving everybody, I want to do the newbie gardener, the urban gardener, and get people growing, because I can grow all of these plants. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 60. I have 120 seedlings right here, and I can grow all of these on my balcony, and my balcony is only like 5 by 6. I've gotten 300 seedlings on one balcony before, so I'm kind of excited. So I have the two different spaces, and I just want to show people how you can do it. Hold up, wait a minute. Okay, I just got some chills. 2 of my little babies have new seedlings, or have their second set of I can't even talk, I'm so excited. They have their second set of leaves. I have got to show you this. Okay, I pulled this out earlier to show you the leaves. I don't know if you can see them. So the first set of leaves that all of the, that pop up are called the cotyledons, and that is what is getting the plant its first nutrients. But if you look at what I just saw, is like this little guy, I don't know, can you see it? He's got his second set. I mean, it's a whole centimeter long, big. It's not very big. And this one's like a millimeter. Oh, welcome. Oh, you guys are so cute. Oh, and there's one on this one. They did not have these this morning. So that second set of leaves just came out today. And like I said, there's all the roots coming out. So I'm so excited. I get tickled. I come over and I am one of those people that talks to their plants. The plants like to know what's going on, and they're happy. I play music for them when I'm not here. I'm a little crazy. I know it. So you're an urban grower. Yep, Megan. And Megan has an insane garden. And I hope, Megan, that you'll jump into the Bloom Chat group and show the pictures of your garden. And that's kind of why I created all this, is to just have a space that we can talk about gardening. Because some people think that to garden, you have to have a huge farm, or you have to grow up being a farmer or something. But I always did it with my hair done and makeup on and playing plants. So that's the kind of gardener that I am. All right. Well, you guys, it's been an awesome Bloom Chat. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you would share this with your friends or on your wall or wherever you want to share it, that would be amazing. All right. Bye.